Lee Stockner is the creator and owner of Occupational Octaves School of Music, and Scott Mergl is the program director of the Family Center for Autism. Without further ado, I'll let them make their presentation.
Thank you very much, and thank you all for being here. Appreciate the introduction. So our presentation today is named Purpose-Based Activities with Real Results, Empowering Quality of Life Skills for Individuals with Special Needs. To increase one's quality of life, raise your hand if you know exactly how to increase your own quality of life. Awesome, good for you, only one. I'm surprised I even got one. Increasing your quality of life is a very difficult thing to do, and it is not a very well-defined thing in our day-to-day conversation. However, it does seem as though purposeful engagement is one of the things that seriously leads one to have an increased quality of life. This is a generic thought that Scott and I are here to bring some specifics to. Scott, I invited today because he does some work in cooking and coding classes at the Family Center. And those are two very, very purpose-based activities. And we say that because a student could set a goal, view and track their own progress, and also have an end result, whether it be a piece of pie or a well-run computer program. These types of activities create a loop. And the loop starts at the onset of your goal, and as you move through your skill development process, it brings all the way back to where you actually complete your goal and get to enjoy something like a piece of pie or a well-run coding program. You may think that what I just described is actually a line from point A to point B, but it's not. It's really a loop, because every time you come back around to this point where you have done something successful, the motivation to try again, try something harder, try it in a different scenario, it comes true and it comes real because you've done something independently and you have your own work to show for it. I know this firsthand as a classical piano player my entire life. I've been doing this type of activity, a purposeful engagement, since I'm very, very young. The term quality of life is a relatively old term. However, research on the topic is relatively new. The research was set forth by a man named Dr. Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. Anyone want to try to spell it? Dr. Csikszentmihalyi runs the Quality of Life Research Center at Claremont State University, where the premise is tested over and over that the more time spent in a state of flow is actually what leads to an increased quality of life. And Scott, I left the book right over there. Thank you very much. This book, Flow, by Dr. Csikszentmihalyi, is what has laid the groundwork for the work that I do with the students that I work with and bring them into a purposeful engagement. So the more time spent in a state of flow, the higher our quality of life. My name is Lee, and I specialize in adapting music for individuals with special needs. I am the creator of Occupational Piano. I left a couple of copies of my book over there. Those are our house copies. And what my book is actually a new language of music that's based in colors and letters that allows individuals that can match colors and letters to play the piano. And once I created this new language of music and realized I actually had a functioning language of music, it came time for me to write a curriculum. And I chose to write a classical curriculum for a number of reasons. Number one is what I grew up playing and teaching, so it's what I knew. Number two, many people will refer to it as the pinnacle of music. I know if you're a jazz person, we might have a little argument, but it's the pinnacle to me. And the last reason is because it is where I had my transcendent experiences with music. It's where I put in my heart, my soul, my effort, my history, my education into these moments that they're worth life itself. They're just the most unbelievable, amazing feelings. It's what Dr. Csikszentmihalyi describes in his books, and there's a lot of research that came after him about this flow state. For me, this was especially important. I was a young man with an IEP myself. I have attention issues and comprehension issues. I needed a lot of extra help, and quite frankly, I had a nice amount of evidence to support a case for myself when I was young that I was not a smart person. I really believed that when I was young. Except I was a level 6 NISMA classical piano player. I don't know if you guys know what that means. I'm playing real deal music that not a lot of people can handle, and I have some really, really bright friends that could not touch the work I do. So this has something very, very deep-seated for me personally. These days, my purpose for the classical music is much more about translating Bach and Beethoven and Mozart into the special needs user-friendly language that I use. And the whole idea has always been, if this works out, perhaps the students that I work with may benefit from a flow state as I have in my life over and over. So this flow state is probably a pretty generic idea for you guys right now, and there are many, many specifics to it. So I'm going to step back for a moment, and I'm going to show you guys a 5-minute video, I promise, only 5 minutes, that's going to sum this up in a very, in a way that might connect with your hearts.
Flow theory in less than 5 minutes, I promise.